Viola, just today I heard about a new kind of theater game called theater sports. And in it they have competition between two teams. One team does a theater game, the other team does the same theater game. They have coaches on each side and there are points and somebody wins. What do you think about this new development?
I have to see this particular sport to see how they can make it competitive, because one of the salient points in my work is non-competitive.
That's what I was going to bring up.
It's a non-competitive thing, and the excitement doesn't come from competition. It comes from extending yourself. And man extends himself. He can go to the moon because of competition. He went because of this, I guess you just the extension. But we don't have to do it through competition. Competition, we lose a lot of, competition is based on the approval-disapproval syndrome, too. And it's the approval-disapproval syndrome that is killing us.
It prevents us from being creative, doesn't it?
Well, it does worse. It lays in fear. And when you lay in fear, you cripple people. Success and failure. That's what my new book's all about. Success and failure. I don't believe in success and failure. So the only way to combat it is to keep writing more books.
And now you have one coming out.
I have another one coming out. And each time I write a new book, more material comes up. It's like when you teach. That is the exciting thing that the games have done. And I've seen it myself and in others. The treasure house of the individual is inexhaustible. Absolutely inexhaustible. And the games go for the intuition. The sports things is all over the head and wrong and wrong. They're having fun, and that's fine. But and they go for jokes. But the intuition is beyond the
competition.
It's beyond the intellect. It's beyond it's an X area. It's the unknown. It's the approach to the unknown. And that's where we're going to find new things, in the unknown. And the moment the unknown is touched, it becomes something known. So the unknown becomes known, and it comes out of the intuition. Well, this company that we have, if you come see it, night after night, it's like it's never the same. They play the same games, and that's when I realized the inexhaustible. I always think of it like the spiral. Mm-hmm. And it's literally inexhaustible. That's why there's always a reason. There's always a reason, and the reason we're giving is not the right reason, it's just the current one. Mm-hmm. I mean, in terms of, and 90% of there's always a reason is, see, I'm really a good guy.
You have such interesting things to say about the human condition and the psychology of people, and you do it in such a way that it really brings out of people their best instead of their worst.
Well, because we're trying to destroy the approval-disapproval thing. I have this paper in the metaphoric mind that used to say, what does she want from us? What does she want from us? Or she'd say, is our focus complete or incomplete? Nobody patted them on the head and said they were good, but they realized nobody said they were bad either. So pretty soon, they disregarded the need of Mama to tell them they were good. So that began to develop in the player a sense of, a direct experience became possible. The other way, there's no direct experience can take place because they're busy going through the, will she like me? Will they like me?
Am I going to do the right thing? Yeah. Do I have the right answer?
Do I have the right answer? So they waste all that wonderful energy.
In the foreword of one of your books, you mentioned a debt to Stanislavski, and I thought that was interesting because, in my view, Stanislavski's very cerebral. Maybe it's the method.
Well, I never read it. But I read his book, and he's definitely, this has nothing to do with him. My background was not I didn't really existed until I was well out into the water, and I was not in theater per se. I was a group worker, recreation. So I learned folk dancing and hundreds of games. And like Freud, we had nothing to do with Freud. If you're in psychology, you've got to say something about Freud, because in a sense he was a scholar.
Yeah.
And we can't disregard Stanislavski. No, Stanislavski is in the past. And my work is on direct experience right now. That's why you have to cleanse yourself of approval, disapproval. You have to cleanse yourself of dependency on your director or teacher. You have to, you're all in it together.
So that in your new book, you're talking to the single actor. And I can't imagine how that can be when most of the things that you do really have a lot of interaction in them. Are you just talking to the single actor about
mostly what he has to do when he goes for an audition?
Oh, I see.
So also what he has to do when he enters a room, and mostly what he has to do. By one sentence, I say, you enter a room with your heart pounding, you're sweating, your mouth is dry. I go through every scary thing. Signs hanging out around your neck. Am I too thin? Am I too fat? Am I too tall? Am I too short? And it's very interesting.
I wanted to find out, when you warm actors up before they actually go out in front of an audience, what is the most important thing that you do for them to get them ready to go out in front of the audience?
Put a thread through all of them to connect them. The important thing is connect. So you do everything you can that'll connect. See, that's why games are so important, the base idea of games. And in games, a direct experience takes place. Nobody says, it's so excited that in the circulation's going physical. The physical body responds to a game. It's a question of energy. The energy has to go through you, and then it's got to tie in, like an invisible thread. So you do things that might do it. They might not do it, but you try. That's what all the space is. You want people to really see. So you say, see the tree. Now let the tree see you. Well, that's silly, but it's not silly. You try that walking down the street. See the tree. Let the tree see you. You'll get a vivid experience. See the leaf. Let the leaf see you. Well, these are all generated by the need to connect people to themselves, one, to each other, and to their environment. And it came out in games because that happens to be the thing that I'm interested in. If I was interested in the kitchen or in something else, that could have, the same philosophical thing would have happened. When I was in Chicago at when I had this game theater, I had a bunch of ministers, priests. They had, what do you call it when they all came together?
Ecumenical council.
Yeah, ecumenical. And when I got through with them, they said to me, they told me I was a theologian.
I believe it too.
This was 20 years ago. I said, what? I said, I'm not sure about God. And they said, oh, you don't have to worry about that.
It's not necessary.
I thought that was wonderful. But I was called a theologian. But anyway, I think it's the philosophy of it, and the physics of it. I often thought if I were to do it over again, my life, I think I'd be a physicist. And one of my sons is a mathematician, so he may have picked it up with me. But the playing is a total physical act. And through the physical, hopefully, we reach the spiritual. In other words, you stir up that which you have, shake it up, explode it. So in here, in the early pages of this theater game for this improvisation, and I was a child when the streets were quite empty of transportation, of traffic. So it was we played. No TV, no radio. We just played from morning till night.
I think there was a lot more creativity.
Oh, of course.
Yes. Thank you very much, Viola Spolin. It was wonderful talking to you.
It was a pleasure. I enjoyed my ramblings, and I hope I covered the material that would be useful to your program.